Hey guys, a warm welcome back to the channel. So my Testarossa has been doing his utmost to embarrass me again. You might think that's all to do with the styling of the car. It's not. The thing won't start again, and that is highly embarrassing when you're at an event or at a petrol station, you got a Ferrari and the thing won't start. So previously we looked at the solenoid on the starter motor. It's a very common problem with a hot start issue on the Testarossa. Strip that out, cleaned it all up. I thought that was going to give me a year or two without having to replace this, but in reality that lasted a week, and if I'm really honest, the problem actually got worse. It wasn't just a hot start problem, it was a cold start problem as well. Very, very temperamental. So we are going to put hopefully a permanent fix in place. How are we going to do that? I'm going to show you now. Right, so we're just going to do a quick update on the Ferrari Testarossa starting issue. Not just a hot start problem, it was getting worse and worse and worse. So you can get these refurbished. I managed to get another starter motor pretty cheap, £170, shipped, everything all in there. It's from the later 512 TR, so it's slightly different. However, I've got a plan. All of this, the solenoids, all the workings are exactly the same. It's just the flange. Now if you look, the openings here, so in the 512 it sits like that, so it's almost the opposite way around. Testarossa obviously sits like this. So plan is I'm going to strip everything off here, use the original flange from the Testarossa, put all the gubbins from the 512 TR on the old flange, fit it in, and hopefully get this running smoothly. So I need to put a big thank out to my friend Prit for this one. This was not my idea. He has done something similar in his Ferrari 456 using the same starter motor. So like I say, I think he even paid less for his than I've just paid for this. I needed this one for the weekend. We are taking this car, hopefully if the weather is right, remember we have no roof on this car, to Silverstone for the final leg of the Ferrari Challenge on Sunday. It's now Thursday. It's late Thursday actually. So let's try and get this sorted out. So tools we need. So first of all, we're going to strip off the old one. We need a 7mm spanner. 7mm spanner is just for these two screws here and here. So we're going to take those off. We're going to strip the body, and we're going to need Phillips on this one just to take the screws out for the solenoid. And on this one, slightly different. Solenoid again, but it's a T25. Okay, so not very many tools. Let's see how we get on. So I'm going to strip the Testarossa one apart first, and then we'll see how this goes together. Alright, so I'm going to take these two really long screws out. They run down the length of the body there. Cheers, bit of coffee. Right, okay, so two long screws are out. I'm also going to take the three screws out from here, so I need a little Phillips. So solenoid is ready to come off. It just needs to unhook off the little pin. So if I push the pin like that, solenoid is off, spring out, little piston. Let's get that off there as well. Piston. That's still attached to here. This now should all be able to withdraw from here. So that's one part. Now I want to use this other part as well, if possible. It's part two, it's the body. Looks like we've got some kind of rubber flange here. Let's take that off. Goes like that. Then we have this little lug. If I lift that lug out, the whole mechanism comes out at the same time. So that's it, that's all I need. I need the flange. I'm going to give it a quick clean up, and then we're going to do exactly the same with the other one, strip it apart. Now admittedly, most people wouldn't work on the side of their Testarossa. I wouldn't normally do it on any of the other cars, but this adds character to this used and abused rat rod Ferrari. So I'm going to carry on. Okay, that's all our old mechanism, all our workings with the new flange. So that'll go on the shelf or go off and get refurbished, then go on the shelf. So we got a spare. Okay, now it's time to refit the new starter in the Testarossa. So that slides in down here into there. Put our 3 bolts in. Okay, then we're ready to start installing the connectors down here. Right, okay, so one thing I found that's different is this solenoid only has the 1 terminal on it. So I've just put the 1 lead on and it works. Despite the car appearing to start every time, there is obviously a reason that on the Testarossa I have an extra terminal, a terminal 15A, that I don't have on the 512TR. So I'm going to dig around, try and figure out what that is there for, and I'm going to start with looking at the wiring diagram for the car. So I've done that, I've traced it all back. The 15A terminal feeds back to what I like to call the engine enrichment box, which sits above the wheel arch on the Testarossa. So there's obviously a need for that extra wire. Next, I'm going to do a search online, and typically that will bring me to Ferrari Chat, where we've got a wealth of knowledge. There's a load of threads on the Testarossa solenoid. And for instance, this one, let's have a look. I read through all those. I learn what those extra terminals are for, what the wiring is for, and let's have a quick look here. So someone like Steve is an absolute guru on Testarossas. And here we go. So TR, mine is a US spec TR. I need a solenoid with 2 independent spade connectors. Terminal 50, which is the white wire, we have that. Terminal 15A, which is the white and blue wire, and we need that. So I'm going to now hunt down a new solenoid for the car. There are a couple of extra bits of information of aftermarket solenoids that people have installed that have worked okay. By the way, if you want to follow me on Ferrari Chat, I am Spider Scott on there. Have been for many, many years. Anyway, I'm going to go and find one. So wish me luck. So after doing a lot of research online, the original solenoid on the Testarossa starter is not available. I've checked the part number. Whatever stock there was out there is all dried up. There were a couple of other aftermarket solutions people have used over the last 15 years that have been successful. Again, I'm finding it very difficult to get hold of one of those, especially here in the UK. So I've done a bit more research. I found another 4-terminal starter, exactly the same sizes, same dimensions, same spec. So we're going to install that. We're going to take no risk with this. I've been embarrassed enough with this car. Going to install that as well, and then get hopefully this car fully working with no start issues for a long, long time. Right, Testarossa starter motor phase 2. We are going to add in a relay to the system. As you're probably aware, Testarossas suffer with this, the hot start, so we are going to not risk anything on this. We've put the new solenoid in, a new starter, and I'm now just making up the loom and a little 4-pin relay. So I'll put a link where you can buy this in the bottom. I'm having to modify it slightly. I'm just putting an inline fuse, just a 15 amp inline fuse there, but otherwise just normal connectors, and then we're going to wire it all in. Just going to show you. So we've got the original wiring diagrams for the Ferrari Testarossa. Very nice. Unfortunately, it's not in colour, so it does take a bit of looking up. So starter motor at 127. So I've traced back all the wires. What I've done is I've just made a clearer note for myself. So that is the original setup for the Testarossa. And then what we're going to do is we are going to install this low voltage relay kit. Details, this is the setup. Like I say, I'll put a link below if you want one of these. It just takes a little bit of modification. I've put an inline fuse in as well. So it took about half an hour, not a problem at all to do that. And tomorrow I'm going to take this car out, get it really hot, test it for about half an hour, make sure everything works okay. Right, so that's job done, rewired, just got to tidy it up slightly in there. So we've put our relay, cable in here. I've tucked it down here for now, just while I check it all out. Done the wiring here, but just a little bit more tidying up. So I will put a document together how this is done. Car fires up, I shall show you. It's not really a good test because this is all about when the car is hot. So no problem at all there. Okay, happy days. So we've nearly made it all the way to Silverstone without getting rained on. It's still looking okay. I've got a car cover, so if it rains, and it's probably going to rain, we're going to put this under cover. Now, the one thing I haven't tested is whether my starter motor is fixed or not. So we've done an hour and a half journey. The engine is going to be obviously very hot. So, have we managed to fix it? Or is this going to be a very embarrassing moment? We'll find out shortly. Well guys, the Testarossa made it all the way to Silverstone and back without a single glitch. This car starts on the nose every single time now, no matter if the engine is hot or cold. So, super happy with that result. I did get soaked on the way home, but that is a whole new story, a whole new solution I need for the Ratarossa itself. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. You can follow me more on a daily basis. I'll put the link up there to my Instagram. Don't forget to smash that like button. Like I say, hopefully you learnt a trick or two from this one. I'll see you again very shortly in the next one, and thank you for watching. Ciao for now.